Where do we even start with this?
Guys, it's not looking good. What the hell is this?
We're keeping calm, but there's a lot to sort.
We're keeping calm. We're not getting stressed. Deep breaths in.
So let's take it back. Let's rewind. Start at the front of the house and we'll give you the full story.
Hey guys, so you may have watched our previous videos and know that we were living in Marbella. We actually had planned to move there for 8 weeks and we actually ended up getting the ferry there with our car. But unfortunately we had to cut our trip short to 4 weeks as we had to come back to our latest property project, which we did actually leave in the hands of somebody else who we've used previously. But unfortunately things have gone wrong. We're going to do a tour on the main channel as well and maybe go into a bit more detail on that. But we drove back all the way from Marbella, didn't we, Matt? How long was it in total?
Well, the last drive from Barcelona to UK was 16 hours.
16 hours,
and then
yeah.
it was 10 hours from Barcelona to Marbella.
So
like 25
we did
hours
a day in
driving.
Barcelona to break it up, but 26 hours in total.
Yeah.
Because there was no ferries back, we had to drive through France. But anyway, it was a really fun road trip. Go watch the vlogs if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, there's some funny clips in that.
Now we're wrapped up in our big coats.
Bit of an outfit change.
Yeah,
we're
bit of
here
an
to
outfit
see.
change.
This is the property then, so it's a 3-bed mid-terrace house.
We have approximately 4 days before we leave the country again to try and sort this out.
Yes.
But first of all, if you didn't watch the previous videos, I did mention we had painted this white. It used to be yellow. Pop a picture on the screen. Looks a lot more modern white, which is good.
We also painted things like the front gate and the steps.
Yeah, this was like green. Was it green or red?
It was red and then the gate was green. A lot of colours going on. Okay,
Ooh.
so we're entering the house. Sorry for the eyesores. It's not quite glam yet.
So Matt actually did a lot of this, didn't you, one day when things weren't being moved, like when we first completed it, you came and peeled some wallpaper off.
Yeah, it's like a month ago again when we just couldn't get someone in quick enough.
Probably longer than a month ago.
Yeah, true, actually.
Because we've
2
actually
months.
had this house probably 6 to 8 weeks now, which is a slower refurb than we did a refurb previously in 3 months.
Yeah.
And this has just been because we've had a few problems with tradespeople. But this is all like 3 layers of wallpaper, I think it was. Mental amount.
So stripped back to the bare plaster.
Yeah, so we've got 2 living rooms. This is where
2 living rooms, both with problems in, but we're staying calm. First situation is in this living room.
Yeah.
And the big problem it lies with the ceiling. So this was pulled down when it wasn't really supposed to be.
Yeah.
And there's our friend out there, just saw him.
Should we go talk to him?
Yeah.
Just destroyed your filming there.
Yes, I had
just
to
started coming
retake
to
it.
see- yeah, I know, yeah. That's why I did it.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright, you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we're just checking on this bit of
This
a
is our new
shit show.
house.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, Matt showed me around the other week.
Yeah,
so,
it's not changed much.
Has it not?
No.
That's why I thought I drove back round. I thought, oh well, we'll see if
No.
it's. I thought you was
No,
filming.
hadn't.
So yeah, we're ready.
No, we've had some problems.
Have you?
Honestly, like, you're welcome to have a look, but we're just.
Look, come in.
I mean, look at,
This
for example,
ceiling
the
was
ceiling
pulled
in
down.
here.
The ceiling's falling.
So
Oh,
this
the
ceiling
guy-
was pulled down.
this wall didn't even need to
without
come
us
down.
knowing.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of been half boarded up, but there's like gaps up there. It's just, yeah, we're just having a lot of problems.
We're struggling to
with
find
contractors.
other people to then do the work. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Like people are turning it down. Like,
Oh, no.
we're literally like, we'll pay double. They're like, no.
Not interesting.
I know, and like them, this room over here.
All the stuff's been delivered too early.
Look how much stuff's in here.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, exactly.
That's like a kitchen, all the bathrooms.
Yeah.
It's like everything.
Yeah.
Well, these things happen, I guess, don't they? But
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to work it.
Inside and upstairs.
Same thing again. We've got someone who's going to do the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've paid
But
for
we're
the
just-
en-suites to be done.
Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
We're gonna sell it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just sick of it.
Sick of it.
Yeah, that's one of those things, isn't it?
I think
Yeah.
it's a good family house as well. So
Yeah, no,
good
definitely.
road, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright guys, no worries, alright, I'll leave you
Have
to
a
it.
good day.
Yeah, mate.
You too.
Catch you
Alright.
later.
See ya.
See you later. Sorry
Bye.
for
It's fine.
destroying your
That's alright.
Okay, wait. So we showed this room.
Yeah,
Let's-
and we showed that how much stuff we've got in
Yeah.
there. Again, like, we've done plenty of projects that went really well, not all good. So a lot of this stuff was miscommunication with the people working on it. That's why so much has arrived. We've tried to hide it as best as we can, obviously, because it's a bit of a security risk. But
Yeah.
there we go.
Because the first person we had working on it was like, got it all ordered. Like we had time scales. We like to have budgets, time scales, and then it just. Shall we talk about what happened with our first contractors in the main tour?
Yeah,
The main
yeah,
channel.
the main one.
So make sure you go check that out.
But yeah, this is the kitchen you might have seen on the main tour, depending
Hot
on what you're
picture
watching first. Yep,
What it used to look like.
yep.
It was a probatey kitchen, like because it was a probate house.
It
wasn't
was, yeah.
So just very old fashioned. When I
Look
say
better
that.
than this though.
Yeah, it did. Now I'm thinking we should have probably kept that kitchen.
That's work in progress. So again, here we've got, this is where the old kitchen, where the sink and everything would go, looking out to the window. Again, ceiling that needs, but that's been left open because of the plumbing work that needs to be done for the showers upstairs.
We've got a really nice kitchen though.
Yeah.
that we bought
Somewhere
from
in that
Hammond's.
room.
Yeah.
Somewhere tucked in there. I mean, there's still some bin bags of the wallpaper. When I'm working on something, I like to have everything tight, organised and maintained,
Yeah.
but not all builders do that, which is one of them. So what we've got self-levelling on the floor.
Oh, this was a problem.
You know, look at the door.
That's just been chucked on the floor
Yeah.
by
It's
the contractor.
Not very even.
Yeah, it could be a lot better.
Yeah, so we'll probably have to do a little new coat on that.
Then
Upstairs.
we've got this tiny toilet down here.
Yeah. And quite a nice, look, if you can visualise the potential, nice light coming down here, big mirror on the wall, this is quite a nice feature of the house. It may not look like that at the moment.
Yeah, right, you're trying to sell it, it looks awful.
No, it will look nice when it's done, I can see that.
Yeah,
But
you gotta
yeah,
have
a few areas here that need re-skimming and sorting out, because there's a few holes, as you can actually see the bare brick there, beyond the...
Where?
In the top left corner, that's
Oh, yeah.
so back from the plaster you've got a bit of brick, and that's where it's all fell off.
Oh, that's gonna be a hard place to plaster.
Yeah. And here we are upstairs. I mean, so problem house with the way that this is the third bedroom, but you have to go through this to get to the current shower room.
So technically it's a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
You can't classify as a 3-bedroom.
But this bathroom has been stripped out, which again, miscommunication, because I would have probably left the tiles in here. I don't
Yeah.
think they all needed to change.
Look, you can see the brick. That's what the plasterer that came round was saying.
Yeah, it needs extra.
It needs
Because a lot
to be
of this, I'm not
plastered.
going to do it now, but a lot of this, if I knock it and take it's going to fall off. It means it's loose,
That's not good.
like a bit crumbly.
There was a massive cupboard here.
Cupboard there, shower here, that shower tray needs to come out.
And just to also mention, how many skips did we fill with this house, Matt?
Must have been around 4 or 5.
4
I've
or
actually
5?
got video.
I think we spent
That's
over
quite
1,000, or you got a video
Like
of it?
1,200 on skips. So that little stuff adds up, and that's again what most might underestimate when they're coming to see a project, is actually getting it cleared, which takes time, obviously, and effort as well. So this is the second bedroom, and this is where we're planning on the en-suites. I'm too far away from the mic. So this is where we're planning on the en-suites over here. Shower tray, toilet.
Yeah. It's not super wide angle, this camera, so
No.
let me stand in this corner. It's quite a big room. Yeah.
Like that.
If you watch the main tour channel, we'll use oh god, there's a hole.
And the carpet all up here. This room still stinks. A heavy smoker that lived in this house.
And then the ensuite in this
Yeah.
little corner here. We've got a shower tray. Oh. So we thought as well, while we,
Used it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making notes of stuff that I'm gonna have to sort, because we're not changing the ceiling here, but you can see obviously like the pen marks where it's supposed to go. Little things. What were you gonna say?
So we're going to do another tour on the main channel, maybe go into a bit more detail.
Yeah.
But we thought on this channel too, we would talk about how, like, there's obviously two ways you can buy to sell or buy to refurb, refinance. We've had a lot of questions about how buy, refurb, refinance works, so maybe we should go down to the kitchen or something.
Yeah, let's address those questions.
Yeah.
And then on the main channel will be the figures of this house.
Yeah.
But like you say, let's use this one to explain how we do it and what we're looking to do. All right, meet you downstairs.
Before we talk about buy, refurb, refinance, Matt's going to actually show me the garden, because you had an idea earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
There was basically this huge shed. Was it a shed or like kind of
Shed.
full
We'll
shed?
put some information on the screen because again I took a lot of videos when that was taken down.
Yeah, that was knocked down because it was really flimsy, and we just need to work out what we're going to do with the floor.
Yeah.
So here's the garden.
Garden. This was really overgrown. This came like over here. There's a lot
Yeah,
going on.
it's so much bigger now.
And obviously it is only this bit of the garden. There was an old wall there that had to come down, so it's just like this bit. It's not all of that.
Yeah, we're adding a new fence in this boundary.
So everything from here to the end was a big shed. So what I was saying somewhere earlier is that while we're here we need to just knock this out and ideally gravel over it because it's concrete here. We can't like turf it or anything.
So it's kind of just this bit. I think that bit's fine. Oh, the bit at the end.
Can't leave it like this.
The bit at the end.
Or just all of this, I think. All the way to the bricks because
Yeah. Yeah, what is that?
it's just
Look,
like...
that needs to be sorted too, because that was where the shed door would have been.
Yeah, we're getting the people that are putting the fence to put a new fence there. But I
So-
think we should just gravel all of this because otherwise it's just loose. And I think gravel it all and then put a nice little bench seating area at the end.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you've got something workable rather than just what's it called, like dead space.
I feel like gravel's a bit annoying in a garden though. but-
I agree, but I think like it's the options that we have because to turf this you'd have to take all this concrete up. You'd have to have new soil. It's the
Yeah,
wrong
no,
time of
definitely
year.
don't think to do that.
And
Just
what else could we do? We
thinking
could do slabs.
Slabs, that's the only other thing I was thinking, but I don't know how much that costs.
I think gravel, just chuck
Yeah.
it on.
Chuck it on.
And just flatten it all, clear this stuff.
Okay, let's go inside.
Yeah.
So although we've done a lot of refurbs and we feel like we do have good knowledge within the property industry, we are still learning. Like anything in life, we're constantly learning along the way. So yeah, a lot of lessons to be learned on this property, and sometimes it just doesn't work out exactly how you want. Like some things were definitely not in our control.
Yeah.
I think it's important not to stress about anything in your life that isn't in your direct control, but we've just tried to make the most of it.
Exactly. And it's an investment at the end of the day. There's risk associated with every investment, otherwise
Yeah.
there'll be no money to be made. So it's kind of about understanding that.
Yeah, and
Hello.
we bought it at a good price, so even paying a bit over the odds. Hold on.
It's just a bit of an awkward angle to my neck.
Yeah, I didn't know where else to put it. I should. Yeah, like Matt was saying, it's an investment, and we bought it at a good price, off market. We actually bought it through our letter strategy, and our letter template is in our ebook down below in the description. Check that out, download that, and we're going to still make money on it, which is a good thing.
That's the main thing, of course. So really, like you briefly mentioned upstairs, there's two ways of essentially investing in this type of property for us, and that's one of them is buying to then sell on. Obviously buy it, add value to the property, sell it on for a premium, make some money. Or the other is to buy it, add value, and then get a refinance, which is a new mortgage to pay off the old mortgage in order to retain the property, keep it and rent it out. So two strategies there. I mean, you've got to have, I think, both options when you're looking at deals to see what works out best.
Yeah. So the traditional way of investing is you save up your entire deposit, put it into a property, save up again, do it another property. But there's also something called buy, refurb, refinance, where you can kind of recycle your deposit. It's important still to maybe not do it too much because that it can be over leveraged in case things go wrong. But I was thinking we can explain it a bit more in detail and maybe do
100%.
some figures.
Yeah.
So to keep it easy, let's just say you bought a property for £100,000. For a buy-to-let deposit, you need 25%, which is £25,000, and your mortgage would be £75,000 because your mortgage is 75%.
With the buy-to-let, it's likely to be an interest-only mortgage. That's just what most of them are. So your mortgage would always stay 75,000
Yeah.
for the duration of this. That also makes the maths easier.
Yeah. We'll put all the text on screen too. So say you spend, let's say you spend 20,000 or 25,000.
Yeah, so let's do 25 because it keeps
Yeah.
it whole numbers,
Keep it.
25%.
Yeah, 25,000 on the refurb. So all in all, you've spent 25,000 on your deposit, 25,000
On the
on the
refurb.
refurb.
Yeah.
I know there's like stamp duty and legal fees, which is a few thousand, but let's just not do that to make it complicated. But
Yeah.
so you spend 50,000 all in on the property project, and when it's all done up, the surveyor comes round and says, "Oh, it's a really nice property. There's surveyor. When I say surveyor, surveyor for your new mortgage. So you apply for a new mortgage after."
And that
maybe
mortgage
6 months.
company, once you've applied for that mortgage, will send out what's called a valuer or a
Yeah.
surveyor, and they're there to assess the valuation that you're
Mhm.
looking for and make sure that stacks up with their
Yeah.
lending criteria.
And they could come back and be like, "Oh, the property looks really good. Ideally, the property market's, you know, going a bit crazy for your benefit, but what should we say it's revalued at? Like 150, 150?
150.
Yeah? So, say he says to you, okay, well done, it's valued at 150. You would get a 75% mortgage again, similar to the one you got when you first bought it.
So that's a 75% mortgage on the new valuation amount.
And that comes to 112,500.
75% of 150,000.
Yeah. So then you take that number, and that number pays off your old mortgage. And if you can remember, your old mortgage was 75,000.
And this can either be with the same mortgage lender,
Mm-hmm.
or most likely you'd refinance to a different mortgage lender. So say your new NatWest mortgage is paying off your old Nationwide mortgage.
Yeah.
To keep it simple.
So minus 75,000 gives you £37,500. So that's what you pull out of the property. So going back from the start, you put in 50,000 at the beginning, you put your deposit and your refurb money in, and then once it's all done up and you get a new revaluation, you walk away with 37,500.
And the reason you have that amount and you walk away with that in cash is because the new mortgage that you got was enough of amount more than the new one, and you've created that
You
equity
mean
by
the-
increasing the value.
Opposite, you mean the old one was a lot more than the...
No, because the old mortgage was less.
Oh yeah, the old one was less, sorry.
Yeah.
All the figures will be on the screen.
So
it'll be
you've
a lot
created that
simple.
equity essentially,
Yeah,
and that's why it's think of it as like that's then the new value.
yes.
You can then take that money to invest in something else. Now, obviously, you as the investor, you put in 50,000, you're only getting 37.5 back. So that's an example where you'll get your full deposit back, but not everything that you spent on the refurb.
Yeah, and I think getting your entire money out, like
Exactly.
that is like you have bought the deal of the century, or, you know,
So
getting...
it's 50,000 minus 37,000. What's that?
Yeah, 50,000, 12.5 I think. 12 and a
So
half.
to get all your money out in that deal, you would have had to buy that property for
12.5 less.
12.5 less, yeah.
Or
Which
no,
is-
more than that I think, because of the percentages.
Okay.
Anyway, getting all your money out is pretty difficult to do, but at the end of the day, you've got a property now that could either cash flow you potentially £500 a month, and you've put £12,500 in
Yeah.
at the end of it. I know you needed 50 grand at the start, but yeah. Or there's the other option is if you sold that property for 155,000 and the mortgage was 75,000.
Added a 5,000 on there because usually the sale price will be higher than the revaluation price,
Yes,
because
that's
on the
true.
open market people pay with emotion, whereas when you're just asking a surveyor, it's purely based on numbers,
And
bricks and
comparables.
mortar value, comparable data.
Yeah. And if you've got a good agent doing
Yes,
it.
that is key.
So then that's 80,000. So minus, so you put in 50,000, you're walking away with 80,000. So £30,000 profit. I know there's like taxes depending on your situation, if you bought it in your own name or your company.
Yeah,
but
that's like anything really. Everyone's
yeah.
circumstance with tax and stuff is going to be so different. There's no point in us trying
Yeah.
to explain it in this. So let's say then you've got your 80, you could take 50 of that and go invest in your next project, do the exact same thing again. And then you've got your 30,000 profit that you could either reinvest, take out, pay yourself a salary if you want to do property full time. Again, that's very personal to the
Yeah.
situation.
But it's I'd say the most important thing is finding a good property, getting knowledgeable where you're buying, and yeah, we like off-market properties, don't we? Because
Yeah.
we're not, when we try to buy on-market properties, we're having to end up sometimes bidding against people.
You're competing with other people, and when you buy the property, the goal, if you can create something called instant equity, where you buy the property slightly below market value, let's say you buy it 10% below market value because the person is really motivated to sell quickly, so they're happy to take a bit of a discount, or it needs a lot of work, so again you can get a discount there. You've then created that instant equity,
Yeah.
and that can help with revaluation or when you sell the property. So that's again why we prefer to go the off-market approach sometimes.
Yeah.
Which again, all of how we do that is linked in the description below if you want to find out any more.
And this one was an off-market property. We're never like pretending to people that we're trying to buy it really cheap and they think that's what it's worth. The guy that owned this was about to put it on Rightmove, but wanted a quicker
They want to
sale.
sell it quickly.
And
There's always got to be a fair value of exchange,
Yeah.
and so for selling it slightly less to us, we gave him the money quicker, which meant that he could go on to do what he wanted. So that's a benefit for him, and then we got the benefit
Yeah.
for us of getting the property slightly below. So you're not walking into a situation trying to negotiate and do people over to get you
Yeah.
the best price. It's how can I find out what that person wants,
Another
serve
example.
that to help
Yeah,
us.
it's always going to be fair. Another example is somebody being repossessed, that's the word, where the bank will take their house and they'll walk away with nothing. There was an example where a guy owed 80,000 on his house. He needed the money in a few weeks, gave him, was it 125 or 30?
Mhm.
So he was able to sell his house a bit cheaper than he would if he went on the market, but he was able to sell it and walk away with 50,000 to start a new, rent a property or not be homeless. Or in
So
fact,
the alternative for him there is if we weren't able to buy that, or say another investor wasn't, then he would have walked away with nothing.
yeah.
So
And going on
benefit him.
Rightmove with an agent, sales can take up to 6 months. We got it through like under 4 weeks. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to find these properties, and I think it's important to clarify that it is hard too.
Yeah,
You're not going to
agreed.
go on your first viewing and get a good price.
You might have to do 50 plus viewings to
Yeah.
secure your first. If you're starting out, I would say at least. When you get more experience, you won't go on certain viewings because you know it's not worth it, or you'll know how to ask better questions to the agent and owner to
Yeah.
qualify that lead as, yeah, that's going to be worth it.
That's
But
true.
don't be afraid when you start, like we did, we viewed so many properties,
Yeah.
and a lot of the time you only see the end result of people, but it's like that analogy
Yeah.
that I love where it's the iceberg, where you can see the tip of the iceberg above the sea and a massive iceberg underneath the sea,
Yeah.
and people only ever see the top, but all the work actually goes in on the bottom of the iceberg.
Yeah, we've been on
If
so
that makes
many
sense.
viewings. No, it does. So many viewings, and like you're right, when we first started, we went on every single viewing, everything that came up. We just thought this could be it. You never know. But now we have learned to ask the right questions, and
That's key, asking questions.
if the seller's like, I'm only going to sell if it's 180,000, and we know for a fact that it's not worth that, we would say, look, it's not for us. Call us in a few months if your
Yeah.
circumstances changed. So yeah, I think that was a good little chat.
Yeah, I think hopefully you find that useful. Again, we want it on this channel, it's a bit more of a raw look at what we're doing. It's not so polished, and hopefully
Yeah.
these explain a bit, so really useful to some. And if you want the main tour where we explain everything in detail and actually show you the house properly, then go check that out on the main channel.
This is more just a chatty
Yeah,
vlog.
chatty vlog. I think that's about the end of it. We're going to start sorting stuff out, then we'll keep you updated as we do more of that.
Yeah.
Um,
We're gonna actually be not in the country hopefully
Yeah.
when it's getting done, because we are getting other people in.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe we can do like a sit-down video where we look at the pictures and stuff sent
Yeah.
by the builders and
Yeah.
and review them with you guys.
We'll talk in the main channel video who we're going to use now
Yeah,
and what for. because we've got a few people lined up now.
Let's do that. Like this video,
Mm-hmm.
guys, if you enjoyed our explainer and you got some info.
Yeah, let us know if you understand buy, refurb, refinance now. And is there any other key points we should mention about maybe look out for early repayment penalties?
Yeah, early
doing
repayment, often called a redemption penalty. Mortgage lenders will have that, and so it's usually like 1 or 2% of the mortgage amount. So if you wanted to do a refinance, the last thing you want to be stuck with is a few £1,000 penalty. So always ask, if you're planning on buy, refurb, refinance, if that lender has a redemption penalty or any other fees associated to early repayment. Similar to a car finance or whatever loan, there's usually early repayment charges, but you can find ones without.
Yeah, and our advice is always to speak to a mortgage broker who can look at all the lenders rather than going into one bank. But we could do more videos on that in the future. There's so much information. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, and let us know if you watched the other video too, which will be up on the main channel. Hopefully when this video is live, I'm not sure.
See you
Okay,
later.
bye.